Can't forget when RDJ shared that he was reading this comic, which I think they're definitely going to be adapting elements of this, which is a comic centered around Valeria Richards and Victor Von Doom going like, it's a universe globetrotting type thing, but for Franklin Richards instead. Now, in case you don't know, Victor Von Doom is actually the one who names Valeria Richards and delivers her for Sue, and he plays a uncle type figure, and he does it out of narcissism because he wants to prove that he is better than Reed. He can do this better than Reed. But along the way, you know, he gets a little mushy for Valeria and he just loves her. So I can see elements of that being adapted here. And I also think this is a fun way to have that Reed and Victor Von Doom rivalry, which is essential to Jonathan Hickman's Secret War. But now here's where things get really interesting, because in the Fantastic Four, if you look in the background, this little computer slash device, it looks similar. It's damn near identical to all of the technology that the TVA, the Time Variance Authority, uses in Loki. And come to think of it, if we look at the TVA as a whole aesthetically, it does have a retro-futuristic 60s vibe to it, the way everyone dresses, and the way it kind of feels like NASA and the space race in the 60s. But anyway, this naturally got everyone else's brain spinning, saying, why does Reed Richards have technology from the TVA? But let me put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it, because you're asking the wrong question. It's not what is Reed doing with TVA tech, it's what is the TVA doing with Reed's tech? You see, in Loki Season 2, we're led to believe that OB, or Ouroboros, aka a snake eating its own tail, is the person responsible for creating all of the technology in the TVA. But even he doesn't know how he created everything. Now again, I know you're probably thinking, huh, Sammy, what are you talking about? Well, it's simple, really. Kang, all of his variants are all descendants of Reed Richards' father, Nathaniel Richards. It gets a little convoluted at times, but Kang the Conqueror's real name is actually Nathaniel Richards. Once again, a descendant of Reed Richards and his father. But that just means all the tech at the TVA was created by a Richards. It's just inherently in their DNA to create technology like this. And that would also explain why that John Krasinski variant we saw of Reed Richards in Multiverse of Madness uses similar portal tech to the portal tech from the TVA. It's just a little different because it's not Reed Richards, it's Nathaniel Richards. I know, your jaw just dropped faster than Natasha Romanoff did in Endgame. Sorry, I had to, my bad. Too soon? But now it's time to take it a step further with the whole Kang stuff. Because even before we got the news that Robert Downey Jr. was going to be Doctor Doom, I always thought that maybe the MCU would try to do something different with Kang's origin and his connections to other families, and instead of having him be a descendant of Reed Richards, he would be a descendant of Tony Stark. I mean, it definitely feels like that's the way they were headed with this line specifically. When you mess with time, it tends to mess back. You'll see they were planting little seeds. And, you know, obviously with the whole firing of Jonathan Majors as Kang and pivoting from Kang's storyline to Doctor Doom's storyline in Doomsday. In case you don't know or you forgot, Avengers Doomsday was originally supposed to be Avengers the Kang Dynasty. It was also supposed to come out this year, but obviously they had to change a bunch of shit when all that happened. But I always said, and I still feel like, elements of whatever Kang's storyline was supposed to happen, Kang Dynasty, are going to be adapted for Doom in Doomsday. And Doom and Kang have a very interesting dynamic in the comics. You know, at one point Doom thought he was related to Kang. They've teamed up on multiple occasions, have betrayed each other on multiple occasions. Even one of Kang's variant, the Scarlet Centurion, was inspired by Doom's armor. Said, hold on, that motherfucker got that shit on. Let me put that on too. I don't know if the MCU's version of the Scarlet Centurion got the drip memo, because this shit ain't it, bro. I'm not gonna lie. But who knows? I mean, this shit kind of look like some Iron Man Doctor Doom armor. I feel like it's pretty obvious, but he's gonna have a savior complex in Doomsday, which was basically Tony Stark's entire